Hello guys, I am Imelda.godswill and you're welcome to another video on my channel. As you know, this channel is all about technology reviews, lifestyle and fashion. In today's episode, from the title you can tell I'm gonna tell you 6 things you need to know before coming to the UK. If you're new, please don't forget to click the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you'll be the first to know when I upload a new video. And without further ado, let's get the do. The first thing you need to know before coming to the UK is you need to research on the course you want to study. See, I noticed that a lot of people just come to the UK because they just want to come to the UK. Yes, I know a lot of people want to jackpot for my Nigerian followers, but you just can't say you want to study in the UK without knowing the course you want to study, or just going in for any course, especially if you're considering working. If you're considering working, knowing that students are only given 20 hours of work time per week, you need to re-evaluate the course you want to study. You have to do a course that you think you would know that would not be so consuming on your time, because I find that a lot of students come here studying very tough courses and want to manage a part-time job, because you're only allowed to work part-time jobs. You can't, it's not really wise to do that, because your course will be straining you and you want to have a job to earn some more coins. So I would advise that you pick a course that you know would not stress you so much, so that in the search for money you won't be dropping in your grades and you'd have paid so much fees. You won't want to have a low grade. Obviously nobody wants to have a low grade, and also you won't want to be schooling so hard and not making money, because in a foreign country you need money to survive. So I would advise that you research on the course you want to study. The course doesn't really have to be the course you study for your BSc, or if you've already done your BSc or your bachelor's, it doesn't have to be a tough course. It just be a course that is technical, is okay, it tasks you mentally, but still enables you have time for other things, because you still want to make friends in a new country, you still want to do a whole lot of things, you still want to survey your environment. So it wouldn't be wise to pick a course that will just cage your time and everything. I made that mistake. Please don't make that mistake. The second rule, yes, the next thing I find a lot of people struggling with is finding a school that offers the course they want to study. So now you've researched and you say, okay, I want to study animation. Bam. Sounds cool, right? The next thing you're supposed to do is find the schools which offer animation in their coursework. And when you find such schools, that doesn't stop there. What's your budget? Because everybody cannot be doing GoFundMe for their masters. Imagine everybody doing GoFundMe for their masters. Who would fund who? Do you get? Because I find a lot of people, they'll pick a very expensive school and they'll be going for GoFundMe. It's different if you had a means of sponsorship and then it went left. That's understandable, things happen all the time. But you can't at the very beginning want a school to study a particular course, then boom, you go for a very expensive school which you know you cannot afford, and then you now start opening GoFundMe accounts. Seriously, it's not fair on others. Who does? Everyone wants good things, everyone wants to go to good schools, but you find that people would just go and source for very expensive schools and expect others to fund them just like that. It doesn't work out that way, I think. So please, when you research on the course you want to study, the next step is getting down to research on the schools that offer such courses with your budget. Everyone needs a budget. You need to have a budget in mind of what you want to spend as tuition fees. Taking heed that UK schools are expensive, so you have to take that into consideration. You can't just say, oh, I want to study animation, I go cha-cha-cha, then start begging for people to help you pay your fees, or you start wondering. Also, if you're going through the scholarship route, some schools offer scholarships, full, part, half, quarter, whatever. So you also have to research on the schools that offer scholarships and apply for them accordingly. Some schools will require you to first get admission before they can now shortlist you for their scholarship members. Some schools will give you scholarship based on your English performance, based on your grades from your last studies. So it depends. So it's either you're going for a scholarship or you have a budget in mind of how much you would want to spend for your tuition fees, bearing in mind that aside tuition there's accommodation, feeding and the rest. We'll get to that later. So please when you get the course you want to study, get the schools that offer these courses, and please, in a means to search for cheap or budget friendly schools that fit your budget. Don't go for the worst schools. See, there are schools in the UK that are worse than Nigerian schools, so not just because it's in the UK, but if you're just coming for Japa's sake or just wanting to leave your country's sake, then that's fine, it's on you. But make sure you're not going for the worst school just because it fits your budget and because you want to leave your country to the UK. The next thing you need to put in consideration when coming to study in the UK as an international student is you need to ensure that the location where your school isn't so pricey. So you have a situation whereby, okay, you found the course, you found a great school that offers the course, and the budget you plan to spend for your tuition is within the range of the school fees, or you have a scholarship with the school. The next thing, especially if you're not having a full scholarship with the school, the next thing you should consider is the location, because some places are really expensive. So you can't compare living in London to living in Middlesbrough. London is 5 times more expensive than Middlesbrough. The cost of living, things are more expensive, living is more expensive, taxes are more expensive. So you can't say, oh, okay, my budget was, let's say, 9k for my fees, and the school offers my course, and so is in London, so yay, I've won. No, you've not won, you've just started. The location is gonna eat your money. Like, guy, London is expensive. Like, a 1 room in London will be going for about £1,500 compared to the same 1 room in Middlesbrough that will be going for like average of £300 a month. So do your calculation, which is better. So if you're on a budget, you also need to consider the location of your school. Quite important, because it will affect your cost of living, it will affect your feeding, it will affect every other thing. You can't even just chill. Every chilling will involve a lot of money. I'm sure you don't want to be spending money unnecessarily. You want to spend money on the wise things, you want to spend your coins on the wiser things. So consider the location of your school before coming to the UK, so you will not be stranded. Thank you very much. The next point that you need to consider before coming to the UK as an international student or as a foreigner is, where are you going to stay? So if you're on a scholarship, it's on a full scholarship, the school will take care of your accommodation because it's a full scholarship, so they take care of your tuition, accommodation, and everything that has to do with you. But if you're on a quarter or half scholarship, the school only take care of your tuition, so accommodation is on you, feeding is on you. So what do you have to do? What type of accommodation will suit your needs and will suit your budget? So I would say there are like 4 basic types of accommodations in the UK. I'll start from the high end to the low end. From the high end, we have studio apartments. So studio apartments are like basically just for you. That means you do not share anything with anybody. You have your kitchen to yourself, you have your toilet to yourself, you have your room to yourself. But a studio apartment is such that it's one space, but everything is intertwined, in the sense that you have your bed here, for instance, then just by the corner will be your kitchen, and then by the corner will be your toilets. But it's well set. I'll put in how it looks by the side here so you would understand what I mean. So a studio apartment can be quite pricey. It can be ranging from £1,000 per month to £4,000 per month, depending on the location of where you stay. So that's a studio apartment. That's the first type of accommodation you can get if that's what your need requires. The next type of accommodation you can get is a shared apartment. So shared apartment can go from 2 to as much as 8, 15, it depends. But I would advise that if you're staying in a shared apartment, please, 4 is enough. Because if you stay in a 6 to 8 house share, you'll be angry. It will not look like face me, I face you, or it will look so congested, and you just can't be so. Because mind you, in a shared accommodation, you share the common areas such as the kitchen, the toilet, the bathroom, the parlor. So you would always feel choked up, especially if, let's say, you want some peace and quiet and your room is close to the parlor and your other housemates brought a guest to the parlor, and they're making noise. It will disturb you and you feel irritated most times, but it will help you make friends easier. So these are the pros and cons. So if you're in a shared accommodation, you are more likely to make friends faster or acclimatize faster with the environment and the school. because there are people like you who just came or who have been there, students like you who have been there who are trying to school too. So shared accommodation has a lot of cons, but I would say the pro is that to help you acclimatize faster with the environment and make friends faster. The next type of accommodation we have is Ensuite. So Ensuite is shared, right? But you have your toilet to yourself. So I would say if you're on a budget but still want to have your space a little bit, go for Ensuite, because Ensuite allows you to have a room to yourself with your toilet inside your own room, whereas shared accommodation, you only have your room to yourself, but you share the toilet, kitchen, and the parlor. I forgot to mention that the price range for shared accommodation can go from £400 to £1,000 a month. Then for Ensuite accommodation, the pricing per month can go from £500 to £1,500 per month. So, but I would say an Ensuite is the best choice. I wish I went for an Ensuite the first time I came, but we all learn every day, you know. The last but not the least type of accommodation in the UK for students which is available is shared room. So in your one room space you would share it, and this is very common with school accommodation. So if you're staying in school, best believe that what you most likely have is 2 people sharing one room and the toilet, or if you're really boxed or rich, you can opt for only you and you pay for the other spacing so you don't have to share with anybody. So yeah guys, these are the 4 accommodation types you need to consider when coming to the UK, so that you would not be left out or feel bland or like you have been lost. The next point to consider when coming to the UK is find out about the area where you'll be staying. So for me personally, when I was coming to the UK, I schooled in Middlesbrough, Teesside University. This is not sponsored in any way. So when I was coming, I didn't do a research on what Middlesbrough was like. It was when I came I started realizing that hey, there was a lot of kidnappings in Middlesbrough, you know, female weird kidnappings or whatever. Students were found in lakes, were stabbed. There were a lot of drug dealing in Middlesbrough. Guy, you have no idea the amount of fear that came into me. But I was kind of comforted because I was staying very close to school. I wasn't staying in school accommodation, mind you, but I was staying very close to school in a rented accommodation. But still, those were the news I heard after I had come. So please research about the city where you are going to. So like if you're going to Chester, you're going to Nottingham, research like what is prominent in this city, so that you won't just be blind and you won't fall into trouble or you won't be caught unaware. So please research. The last or the 6th point to consider when coming to the UK is come early for orientation. See, I made that same mistake. I didn't come early for orientation, and that cost me a lot, because when you come for orientation, the school would by themselves show you around, tell you about everything you need to know to get you started. But if you don't come for orientation like me, if you come late to the country and you miss your orientation, you'll be very lost. You'll now have to be asking people up and down. You know how people can be when you're asking too many questions, especially when you're new. Like, what's this? Oh please, where is this? Where is this building? I didn't even know where my building was for my course. I was quite lost. But if you come early for your orientation, a lot of that will be covered, because you'll be a group of people who are lost, but the school will put you through, so it will enable you not feel left out, as opposed to when you're the only one coming late and you're getting to know all these things on your own. So please come on time. So these are the 6 main things you need to consider before coming to study in the UK as an international student or as a foreigner, so that you don't get lost. If you have more questions or if I left something out, please don't forget to type it in the comment section. I'll be glad to see it and input it if you need a part 2 video. Else, just say your own experiences and share with everyone, so we can all enjoy and learn, you know. Till then, I'm your girl Imelda.godswill. If you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you'll be the first to know when I upload a video. And if you want to follow me on my socials for updates and latest, follow Imelda.godswill on Twitter and follow Style Technician on Instagram. Follow Imelda.godswill on Twitter, and I would be sure to rock your world. Thank you very much for subscribing. I hope you stay tuned and follow up on the next video coming your way, because it will be as spicy as this one. Take care guys. Love you. Bye lovelies.